Hello, everybody, and welcome to VashonLIVE from Snapdragon's Black Cat Cabaret. Thank you for tuning back in. I hope you saw Greg Curry's performance last night at the campfire. It was really great. Before I tell you a little bit about what we're doing tonight, I will tell you that tomorrow night, Steve Iterly is here on this stage, same stage as tonight. He's an amazing songwriter, beautiful songs. You're really going to want to tune into that. And then we have Kat Eagleston on Sunday. So we have been filming just Thursday through Sunday here. So those are our weekend delights, if you will. So tune in for that. Before we get there, a few weeks ago, we did sort of a PSA telling you about Vashon Resilience and Vashon Be Prepared. So whenever possible, we want to share some facts with you and local information just to keep you not having to stare at Facebook or the television to get your news, and sometimes just get some nice facts from us. So a couple really interesting things. Vashon Be Prepared. If you haven't gone to VashonBePrepared.org, now's the perfect time to do it. Great resource. Daily reports on what's happening with the virus and what's happening in your community. Well, they issued $25,000 in funding this week to social groups on the island. Those groups include the Food Bank, Vashon Island School District Nutrition Program, the Interfaith Council for Prevention of Homelessness, the Senior Center Meal Program, and the Vashon Island Growers Association Farm Bucks Program. I actually have some of those farm bucks. I'm going to take advantage of them. So if you want to know more about that, please go to VashonBePrepared.org and or VashonResilience.org. We talked about the community van and the metro. I don't know if you guys heard this. Governor Inslee removed some restrictions on low risk construction work. So I know that's probably going to be a relief for a lot of people. So for more information about that, go to www.medium.com. Another interesting fact, as of 2 weeks now, we have 0 more confirmed cases of the virus. So we have had 0 confirmed cases for the last 2 weeks. How exciting is that? So we're lowering the curve. Great work, everybody. This is on Vashon, yes. Great work, everybody, on lowering the curve on that. And now, I'm really excited about tonight. I'm always excited about what we're doing, and Thursday through Sunday, thanks so much for tuning in. But I've been trying for weeks to put something like this together where we sort of combine visual arts and music, and finally we found the right pair tonight. You will know Bill Moore and Steffon Moody. They're over there nodding and giggling a little bit. They've known each other for 30 years. Bill Moore you'll know from the Backbone campaign, which is who we're donating to this evening. So that's where your funds will go, and Jennifer will put those in the comments. He's going to be here playing percussion. He's a salsa student. I gave you a plug on that. So please welcome Bill Moore to the stage, and also Steffon Moody, multi-talented musician, painter, and he's going to be here with us live painting to music. Everybody give a hand at home to Steffon Moody and Bill Moore.
Ride the ferry boat very much lately.
Too bad.
But I always love certain boats have this really awesome sound. You stand on the bow and they and I can't be sure if it's the engine or if it's the ripples of the waves hitting the bottom of the hull, but either way, you know what I'm talking about. simple. Has all that rich sound in it. Strangely, I've been busier than ever. Backbone campaign. I think a lot of y'all get really super busy. But, percussion is such a great way to check out. Because it's always a challenge, an opportunity to listen.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill,
Yeah.
could you stay really still? I'm trying to paint.
Oh, that's going to actually be challenging. But I love it. Percussion is a lot about patterns, right? And timbres. And sometimes it's fun to just pick things that nobody's ever heard before. Like a garbage can with a spring. And then just play patterns. Fun patterns, 2 against 3. 2s and 3s and combinations.
You're
7
doing
is
good.
a fun one.
You're doing good, Bill.
Thanks, Steffon. This is fun that you invited me to do this. I appreciate it. Don't get to do this kind of thing very often, so yeah.
I do this all the time.
Well, that's a good thing. Lucky world. Been getting to play with Jason Everett lately. That's been really cool and exciting. And
Mr. E?
Mr. E,
Mr.
yeah.
E.
Yeah. He's got some crazy time signatures we have to play.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was thinking I'd just do something pretty simple in 7. One of the things I love about 7 is you can have a 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 2 2s and a 3. Or you can have the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 Percussion is about tension and release, and can't just be tension, and it can't just be release, otherwise it'd be boring or overwhelming. So like you play a 9, but it has to have a flow to it. It has to have like a clave. So I like this 9. I like to think 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. It's actually like 18 little pieces. Leading into 1. I'm going to go back to the framework for a little bit.
Bill. I just don't know. I'm right in the middle of it.
Okay.
It's the ugly phase. It's where that's what you got to go through. You got to go through the ugly phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Well, you've been doing some beautiful writing there, mister, lately.
Well, thanks, Bill.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, you wake up in the morning, you take a walk, you get a thought, one thing leads to another, and then you just write stuff.
That's so good. It's good that you're doing that. We're really appreciating it.
You know, now's the time. I'm glad you like it.
It's been great to be outside a bunch. I heard Greg talking a little bit about that, about how quiet it is, less plane traffic and stuff. I keep looking up and wondering who the heck is even in those planes that keep flying.
Well, that's the thing. I think they're just COVID spreaders, basically. Pretty
Trails
much.
of COVID?
Yeah, just, you know, just spreading the love,
Okay.
which, you know, it's all part of it, I guess, this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this whole thing in a kind of existential way.
Oh, what do you mean, Bill?
Well, I mean, it's just like never in my life before I've been in a time when everything that we thought was established and unmovable seems all of a sudden so fragile and completely transient. And
Yeah, it's kind of a mind blower, isn't it? Like capitalism it's like a drunk driver that just gave up the car keys. Like,
yeah,
I'm done. Like I can't drive anymore.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty amazing.
Well, at least the illusion of it being inevitable is gone away.
Well, that's it, right? Like, or that, yeah, like that. You like, how could you stop capitalism? It's
Right.
You know, that's a good one.
We had a cool call with Winona LaDuke and Bill McKibben recently, and
He's the 360.
he's a 350 guy, and she does indigenous organizing, and she's just a beautiful person. She's been on the island now a couple times, I guess. But anyway, we ended kind of exploring this idea of can we really call it re-indigenization? Maybe we're not ready to do that yet because we haven't really dealt with come to some kind of justice or peace with actual indigenous folks who are here. And I wonder about that sometimes. Like I wonder about our nettle making and our huckleberry collection. What are we doing with where's our solidarity with the Puyallup people? Where's that relationship opening up?
Well, I don't see it. I'm not personally aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like, oh, I'm a Caucasian here in the United States. I was born here. It's like the Martian Chronicles. We came here. Oh, where did the Martians go? Well, I don't know. They're gone. So I don't tend to pay attention to it very much.
Yeah.
Well, I probably should though.
Well, I do think that there's this opportunity right now to just to love the place that we are, and just to remember that other people loved this place too before.
Yep.
And still do. Really, it wasn't that long ago. And instead of just like pretending the history didn't happen and make ourselves feel better, like
Right.
maybe there's a way to start opening up relationships where we start to explore what's possible next.
Well, any ideas in that capacity? Like, what do you think?
Well, I can imagine I'm not like Michael Mead. I can't just do play drums and talk.
I think you can.
I can imagine longhouses. Start with one.
Longhouses, like, what do we order them from longhouse.com?
I think it's a beginning of a dialogue. I just wonder, there's this thing called Real Rent Due Amish, where people of Seattle and other places like here pay a monthly thing to the Duwamish tribe.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a tribute because they haven't been federally recognized. But portage is a portage, right?
Right.
So one can imagine people coming back to portage. I can imagine that. And we find the ways to deal with the past. By building something different for the future. Like, why isn't there a gathering of traditional medicinal and food sources on Vashon in their traditional land of Guam? Why are... I bet it'd be scary for a person from Guam to come over here with all these white people.
Well, it seems like we need a cessation of business as usual. You know, like that's the thing. You know, it's when business as usual is going, it's hard to do anything because business as usual is happening. The agenda is overarching, and we're all trying to pay our bills and get along. But in weird spaces like this, kind of, you know, where everything's offline, people are changed and not knowing what to do next. Seems like that's the time. That's what you're
This is
talking
a time of a pause.
about. A pause.
To suspend disbelief. To suspend normal, whatever that is. That's definitely a thing where I don't have any freaking interest in going back to.
Yeah, but everyone's desperate. They're all wanting to go back because people aren't getting paid. Like, you know, all they want, most people want is just to go back to the way things were. Seems like.
That's what I was thinking about. People talk about decolonization. I feel like our lives, our time is colonized by something else. Talk about what was the reference to aliens we made earlier?
What? Did I do that?
Something about Martians. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, Martian Chronicles. Read Bradbury's novel.
Okay. I just think that this is a time to take back our time and our expectations. And the only thing that's keeping us paying our bills and being afraid like that is we don't have enough solidarity. That's why I totally freaking reject the whole idea of social what's it called? Social distancing, and I totally buy into physical distancing. Like, I'm really glad you're over there, by the way.
Oh, I see. You want it both ways.
But no, I think social connection, where is that? Yeah, and I do think that, like, you know, I think it was so cool that Martha and Alex Clark showed us how to make pesto. And I used some of your advice about how to make pesto, nettles pesto.
Right.
Somebody said it calls it nesto. I thought that was pretty clever too, huh?
Yeah.
But how can we do that in relationship with the people who were here before? And how can we do that? And how can we just do that more ourselves even?
Well, it seems to me that, I don't know, it seems like money money is a big con in general. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it is, of course. And you know what? Okay, let's just bring something up.
Okay, let's do it. What's the time?
I think it's BS that everybody's like essential workers, but they're the ones who are going to be like kicked off the island because they can't pay the rent. I want to do a shout out to the people at Thriftway and to Jim and Debbie at the post office.
Yep.
I feel like there should be a Vashon building up to this one. Compact. Like they have the Mayflower Compact. Let's have a Vashon Compact.
What would that sound like?
It would sound like if you work on Vashon, you get to live on Vashon. And if you live on Vashon, you can grow old on Vashon.
Nice. I'm all for that because I don't own a home, you know. So
Right. So where are you going to grow old, man?
I don't know.
And like, why wouldn't it be that? Like I was lucky, right? I landed here. Pat Hudson, rest her soul, let me build a portable cabin on her land.
Yep.
She didn't put up a what do you call it? Those weekend rental things, Airbnb. She
Airbnb,
let me
yeah.
build a cabin on a truck 30 years ago, and I learned skills. I got a place to grow into myself, try stuff out.
Oh yeah, you tried stuff out, all right.
Yeah, lots of stuff. And live to tell about it. So the thing is like I remember Jake Lair. Remember Jake? Of course,
I remember
you
Jake.
Remember Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one time I was in Thriftway, and he came up to me, and he handed me a card.
It said
What did it say?
permission.
Permission. Permission. It said permission. I thought that was so cool.
I remember at a Sub Pop Halloween out costume party where they would play, right? And Jake Lair was there with Janet, right? Was that her name, Janet? Yeah. And he was dancing. They were dancing, you know. And I came in covered in beet juice, looking like a dirt shaman. And he laughed, and I think he felt like I had permission there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Vashon.
Yeah.
I hope we're giving the same kind of permission to everybody.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
And if those poor kids that get stuck with us and not get to go to school, I hope we can find a place for them to hang out too. But seriously, the workers should be able to freaking afford to live here. And it shouldn't be like a strain. If they're essential now, they're essential always.
Yep. Indeed. It's a whole different way of thinking about things. A different way of honoring what's important and what's not. I mean, if we don't reconsider now, when are we going
to do it?
Yeah.
Right? We're not going to do it. I don't take anybody seriously. I think Vashon has everything but excuses.
Latin Giacomo, they served like 3 days there.
Yeah, this is the thing. So this is decolonizing our lives, right? It's only a short actually walk from my office, and that makes it really good and easy.
So you do it too?
Yeah. So we're helping coordinate some of the volunteers there, like Arlette and Giacomo, and all those other wonderful people who came and helped out. Like now we're putting up a greenhouse that went down. They've got a whole other 5 acres that isn't deer fenced, and it's not being cultivated. Caitlin rocks. Caitlin's been doing a great job there. She's the farmer. And all the farmers on Vashon rock.
Indeed.
I mean, it's got to be hard, right? If not impossible, to make a living as a farmer on Vashon. Sometimes I wonder if we should just pay farmers to farm instead of like by the bushel or whatever, making them like do it that way. Like, wouldn't it be great to have all those people using their skills to help us all grow more food? And that's what they're doing, really, right? But if we pitch in, they can grow more. And those who can afford should pay. And those who cannot afford should not have to pay. It should not be a thing. Just like the housing, food should not be we have a chance to decommodify things. Amy said, Amy Morrison. Oh my God, sent from heaven.
She left for a while, but she's back.
Oh my God. Thank you, Amy Morrison. Hold on, I gotta do some special bells for Amy Morrison. Amy, that was for you. Just to show how thankful. So, Amy Morrison said, money is over.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, you can quote that. But that takes us actually actualizing that. And that's where I think that we have to find other ways. We have to, it feels like decolonizing our time and our lives means decommodifying aspects of our lives. And so one thing that we're looking at, and we had to talk to some folks on a Zoom call, believe it or not, really Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Doing a lot of that lately, about time banking. So that people could use the things that they love to do, their gifts, and they could and trade it, do stuff, and then log it, like work at the farm, or paint somebody a picture, or crochet somebody a mask, probably not crochet a mask, but that kind of thing. And then and log it, and it doesn't have to be a direct trade. It's not like I'm gonna play drums for you painting, and I'm gonna paint and you get to hear me play drums. No, that wouldn't be very fair.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So no, it would be like you paint a painting. I teach some kid how to play drums. The kid does some gardening for somebody, and we sort of jumpstart the gift economy and supplant the regular one, the old bullshit one. And like, but folks, we have to realize that we also have to like be totally honest. Like, we're not all created equal here. COVID is not like undiscriminating, right? COVID is undiscriminating, but all the precursors to getting COVID, totally not discriminating, totally discriminating, as we've seen. So, reality, it's nice to say these kind of things, but there are owers and owners. Not to get all class warfare on us, but
Go for it.
it did kind of piss me off that we get these $1,200 checks, which honestly I haven't seen.
I haven't seen.
And
I
then
might
we hear
make
about
too
like
much,
1.7 million for 43,000 millionaires in this country.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. It's like bullshit. So I say, if you're one of the 43,000 and you live on Vashon, there is about $1.4 million you need to provide to help fund a Vashon compact. Like if we got all the who's got that payment or that benefit here to do that, or the people who don't need the $1,200, why not? That should go to some help us get there too. I mean, it's going to take $6,000 to fence that other 5 acres.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Right.
line crops. And yeah, so, and that's with volunteer labor. So anyway, I'm kind of excited about restarting a time bank on Vashon. I think this is a good time for it because I think that, we're headed to a depression, and we've got to have ways to use our gifts and stay connected to each other without fear, without fear of losing everything.
Right. And in some ways, oddly, there's just as much fear in the old system as this whole uncertain one now. I mean, it's not like, people are just scrambling, try to pay bills. A lot of people are left out of the, quote, American dream on a regular basis all the time. People we know, ourselves. So,
yeah, and the fear of not being able to grow old here and all that's real. And
I'm going to grow old here.
I know. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm definitely committed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any idea where else I'd go.
They're not going to get rid of me.
I know, exactly. I know.
And you know what? They know they can't get rid of me.
I know, but maybe there are people that aren't as loud as you and I.
Whoa, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who aren't going to put up a fight or say anything. And so who's standing up for them, right? Or how do we... Anyway.
There's not many people who are as loud as you and I. Not many.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably true.
Maybe one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Two.
We can have a contest, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we should... Yeah.
Patty, she's pretty loud. Patty's loud.
Patty's loud.
Yeah.
Hillary Emmer's they're really loud.
Hillary's loud. Hillary's loud.
Hillary's a freaking rock star. She does great work.
Oh, yeah, she kicks it.
Dang. I mean, there's some great people on this
She
island.
tells you where to get off. Hillary does.
No bullshit with Hillary. No bullshit. Don't even try.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Hillary's doing some great work with helping people pay their bills. I just think it's bullshit that they have to pay their bills. Honestly. I mean, really? You have to pay to have heat? What is up with not having internet as a public utility? How is that even possible? How is it okay that the students on Vashon, they don't have adequate bandwidth, have to do their homework sharing a device or using the phone? This is another thing I heard about is people having to use their phone and they get billed for data.
Yeah.
That is some bullshit right there. And then, Anyway, I feel like Vashon has everything but excuses. And I think this is a really good time for us to shake it up, shake ourselves out of our own normal, me included.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right?
I think that's where the big battle is. It's not them.
No.
It's not that. It's really ourselves.
Yeah.
We're all product of the illusion of expansionism, of forever, endless resources. That's where we've been suckling on that forever, right? So that's,
yeah, it's kind of
and
easy.
every one of us, even the most eco-righteous of it, are basically, we're all just full of it. Because we don't even know what it's like to be other at this point, And I guess to come back to your Native American, what's the proper way to say it now?
Well, indigenous folks, but yeah, I mean, I was thinking that, I don't know if I like this word yet. I heard it from a friend of mine, but the re-indigenize. I feel like we've got to really commit to the place, but really committing to a place means also really committing to people.
Yeah.
And it's hard because we love being down our private driveways.
Oh, that's it, right? Lots of private driveways. Yeah. Private Idaho. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a thing some months ago about white-topias.
That's where we live.
Everything's good, right? There's no problems here.
We're in a white-topia, right?
And yet some people are afraid to go and get food at the food bank. The most friendly place in the world. Now they are doing a great work. Emily Scott and that team. They're doing great work, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so, but because of the situation with ICE and all that documentation bullshit, and this is a thing also, it's if we ever had a moment where globalization got called out as total, utter profiteering bullshit of slippery slope to the bottom, worst of everything for environment and labor. It's now, right? And then the idea of not having a national industrial policy and not being able to like figure out, we know how to make masks and stuff. It's stupid. Anyway,
Yeah, well, I think it's just gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's kind of no choice. Like I said earlier, I never thought that capitalism would just give up the keys to the car so quickly.
and just desperately trying not to. Let's not kid ourselves.
Well, yeah, but it's like it has no clue what to do at this point. It's
May 1st is the beginning where folks around the country are starting to do rent strike and mortgage strikes.
Really?
Yep. So and that's a really scary thing. That's a scary thing. And the only way it'll work is if there's solidarity. Because it's not okay that people have that debt just deferred and then pile up on them.
Oh yeah.
Right? That's
No,
bullshit.
it's got to be suspended.
Yeah.
Suspended.
Yeah.
For everyone. For everyone.
Yeah, and if people are paying a mortgage and they're part of the owing class, not part of the owning class, then those mortgages need to be suspended. And that's where the solidarity between, I don't really think there's like a middle class and a lower class. I think it's about trajectories. I think it's about, things getting better or things getting worse? And most of us, if we look at the last generation, our folks who had maybe a pension. Anyway, I think things are getting worse. And now, obviously, they're getting worse. So solidarity is super, super important. And solidarity is scary, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of us are too busy for solidarity. Really.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a thing.
Is that now we don't, hopefully, maybe there's a way to not be as busy.
Well, one thing, like our whole household is remote right now, right? It's a double-edged sword. You got technology, which is making us less intimate, yet sort of making us more intimate, and making it so we can work from home, but not commute so much. Like, I'm saving 4 hours a day not commuting,
Right.
and instead giving more attention to my students right now. And so there's this new kind of thing where I can be in nature and be teaching and be on the digital highway, yet farming and harvesting nettles and noticing what's going on. It's sort of like a weird technological back to nature thing.
Yeah.
Technological back to nature.
Maybe it's the best in technology. Like, maybe that connectivity is. Now, but that's why it has to be for everybody.
For everybody.
Regardless of capacity to pay.
Yep.
So that's what I'd like to challenge as a first step. Maybe we expand or create a utility, but some aspect of this Vashon Compact should be connectivity. Because just like if it hits the kids the hardest, if they have to share a phone or both. Anyway, and I know that Alan, a guy named Alan, space his last name. They are doing some cool stuff for the people who used to be dependent upon the library. Some folks from Vashon Be Prepared. Thank you, Vashon Be Prepared. Have set up a internet access point at the Village Green a couple times a week. So that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's not really enough.
No.
It's a small band-aid for a small group of people, and what we need is something more comprehensive. And I just feel like I wonder, I love Vashon Household. That was the first nonprofit that I ever volunteered for. I was on the board there like years ago. But the land trust for agriculture needs a land trust or a housing trust. And I think it has to be more than like for the poor, right? It has to be for everybody. Like, you know, they say that like universal, as soon as universal aid programs became poverty programs, then they start to be underfunded. And it became stigmatized. So, you know, it would be great for young people to be able to land here, and people who want to be other places like some of our kids, but they can't be. And people who wanted to stay here, people who are working here, young folks, they should have a place they should be able to invest in. Like, they should be able to be given a spot where they can build a cabin if that's what they want to do. Like, I got that. I was lucky enough to get that. But maybe everybody needs different stuff, right? And then, but why couldn't that be like pitching in a place to build a cabin means that when they're older and they maybe want to have a family and that little truck cabin, tiny house isn't quite right, maybe that's when they can go into a regular house. It's also housing trust. And then as they get older, there's an appropriate place for them to go with more capacity than we currently have. So it's not like a huge waiting list, but it's like an obvious thing. So people can age in place here.
Because we've been losing people, right?
We're losing people, and I don't have any numbers on it, but I can tell you, even if the population's staying the same, we know that it's gentrifying. And as long as people love this place, it's not like I have no bad feelings for people who come here. I don't blame them. I came here.
Yeah.
As long as they give back to the community, right? Yeah. But connectivity for everybody.
By connectivity, you mean what?
Well, like the internet that's enabling you to do your work from home and not have such a big impact, same as me. I used to fly a bunch, you know. So anyway, that for everybody, basic. And food, regardless. And we don't really grow very much of it. But a lot of people are doing good stuff. You know, I saw a great video of how to start plants, do starts. It's up on my Facebook page. It's with Karen Biondo, and I'm going to space names, Michelle and Marilee and Karen and Dana, and somebody working the camera. It's just, you know, basic stuff. But anyway, so we can grow a lot more food, and we can use the time bank to help people who don't necessarily want to use the rototiller or weed. And then that rent thing and mortgage, honestly.
Right?
And then showing up, being still, so the folks being present for each other, but also it's like I think it is really telling that there's certain people who are because of the fucking bullshit with ICE and this idea that people can't cross borders, but capital can cross borders unhindered. Boom.
Oh.
Hell with that shit. You know, globalization my ass. Localization is where it's at. Woo! So, yeah. Got so many incredible people on Vashon. You know, we could be exporting Nesto and knowledge. And we should also, I do think that starting to build a conversation with the people who were here before, the Puyal, around whatever the hell they want to talk about. Maybe it's a listening session. Maybe it isn't us talking.
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up. And how about like committing to huckleberry picking, talking with the Shabbat people, and doing some huckleberries and sitting and listening this fall.
Well,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm almost done with the painting here, Bill.
Well, I'm very excited to see it.
I think it captures the spirit of what just occurred here.
Well, I love you, man. It's been great, to be hanging out. I mean, I don't know if people really know how much, like, we've gone through this, like, thing where of mistaken identities.
Yeah, well, here
We'll
we
go
are.
into that next time.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're like Harry Potter and Voldemort. We're like we're like the same, really.
I know.
And one of us is the good guy, and no one knows who.
Yeah.
It's not as black and white, like in the movie.
Yeah. It's great. Well, I love being here on the island with you all these years.
Likewise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been inspiration to many people.
And each other.
Yeah.
And I've been inspired by so many people here.
Oh.
And our elders who passed. Yeah.
And when I say an inspiration to many people, I mean by our example of how we've related.
We've gotten a lot of opportunity. I mean, I feel like I appreciate that.
Well, we've transcended some bullshit.
But you're really the better transcender than me.
Oh, really? I don't know.
I think it's a team effort. You think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
Shall I finish?
Like Joe Hannah says, grow where you're planted.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
All right. Love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
We're signing off.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Are you gonna reveal?
Oh, we gotta do it. Yeah.
Do I have to reveal it? I mean, here it is. It's at a shiny angle, isn't it?
Lovely. I'm maintaining the distance. Oh, dude. I've never had anybody paint me before. That's so
Wild
cool.
drumming.
Wow.
And you started and ended with the frame drum, which I was thankful for.
I really, I think the simplicity of the frame drum is good for me.
Yeah.
All right.
So when's the
Thank
ending?
you, VashonLIVE.
Okay.
I love you.
Yay.
You rock. Thank you for making this happen.
According to Simon, we're out, but he said that about 2 minutes early last night.
Oh, okay.
So don't swear.
All right.
We're probably off.
We're probably off.
Why can't we swear?
I swore during the thing.
Yeah,
I
he
We
did.
can swear. It's
I was
reasonable.
joking.
Okay.